Oh my God. Angel Reese fans. Oh my God. We got to break this down. As Angel Reese fans believe that Sandy Brondillo and the Toronto Temple may be interested in having her join the expansion team. Where they got this nonsense, I have no idea. But there's an article. We're going to break it down. I don't think Sandy Brondillo wants to touch Angel Reese with a 10-foot pole in terms of her joining her team. But let's break it down, man. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, and hype the video. Let's get right.
Angel Reese didn't just leave the Chicago Sky, she walked out on her entire team right in the middle of the season, using what looked like a made-up excuse. This wasn't some quiet departure either. It was a complete abandonment that sent shockwaves rippling through the entire WNBA and left everyone questioning what was really going on behind the scenes. The whole situation screamed of someone who had mentally checked out long before physically walking away. What made it even worse was how public it all became, creating this massive spectacle that damaged not just her reputation, but the Sky's credibility as an organization.
Coliseum. However, in early December, Angel confirmed that she is staying with the Chicago Sky for her third season in the WNBA, where she was quoted as saying, "I'm under contract. I plan on returning to the Sky, continuing to talk to Tyler and build that relationship with Jeff and Tyler." Now, we all know Angel Reese flat out quit on the Chicago Sky. She wants nothing to do with being there. She literally said, basically, I'm showing up because I'm under contract and that's it. I'm going to play for you guys what she actually said and the tone in which she said it. But Angel Reese don't want to be there. She threw in the towel on this team. Once they suspended her,
So what was the official reason given? A back injury that supposedly came out of nowhere, but people close to the situation tell a completely different story. Right after getting suspended for the first half of a game, Reese was supposed to come back for the second half. Instead, she refused, suddenly claiming she was in too much pain to play. The timing couldn't have been more suspicious, getting disciplined and then immediately developing an injury that prevents you from playing. That doesn't look like coincidence to anyone paying attention. It looked exactly like what it probably was. A calculated move to avoid accountability.
No, Angel Reese flat out quit on the Chicago Sky. She wants nothing to do with being there. She literally said, basically, I'm showing up because I'm under contract and that's it. I'm going to play for you guys what she actually said and the tone in which she said it. But Angel Reese don't want to be there. She threw in the towel on this team. Once they suspended her for a half, and then they were gonna play her in the second half, and she was like, "Absolutely not. I said my back is hurting, so I'm not coming in at all." As a matter of fact, you can't suspend me because I'm not coming back for the rest of the season. Is what she ultimately did to the Chicago Sky, and just flat out.
But wait, it gets even more dramatic than that. According to people who were there, Reese didn't just skip the second half. She basically told the entire organization that her season was done right then and there. The message was crystal clear: you can't suspend me because I'm quitting before you get the chance. This wasn't just refusing to play one half of basketball. This was her completely abandoning her professional obligations and leaving her teammates hanging. The audacity of essentially holding the franchise hostage like that left everyone in the organization scrambling to figure out what just happened.
On this team, once they suspended her for a half, and then they were gonna play her in the second half, and she was like, "Absolutely not. I said my back is hurting, so I'm not coming in at all." As a matter of fact, you can't suspend me because I'm not coming back for the rest of the season. Is what she ultimately did to the Chicago Sky, and just flat out embarrassed the organization. You had players like Courtney Vandersloot coming out because she had comments about Courtney Vandersloot and saying they need a younger point guard, and Sloot might not be able to handle it at her age, and Courtney Vandersloot had to get on camera and fire back at her. You had players like Ariel Atkins, who sat at the podium early in the season.
Now here's something that makes the whole situation even messier. This blow-up didn't happen in a vacuum. Reese had already been stirring up serious problems in the locker room for weeks. She went after veteran point guard Courtney Vandersloot publicly, basically saying the team needed someone younger who could actually keep up with the pace of play. Think about how disrespectful that is, calling out a respected veteran like that in front of everyone. Vandersloot had to defend herself publicly, which created this whole unnecessary drama that split the team apart from the inside.
And fire back at her. You had players like Ariel Atkins, who sat at the podium early in the season defending one Angel Reese, talking about her crown is heavy and she deals with a lot and all of this stuff. By the end of the season, Ariel Atkins wanted nothing to do with the girl. She wanted nothing to do with her. So with all of that being said, I don't believe that Sandy Brondillo would want Angel Reese joining her team at all. To be completely honest with you, I couldn't see it at all. I don't see Sandy Brondillo doing that. I just got to be all the way real.
The situation with Ariel Atkins shows just how toxic things had become. Early in the season, Atkins was out there defending Reese, talking about all the pressure she was under and how difficult her situation was. Atkins genuinely believed in her and tried to be supportive when others were being critical, but by the end of the season, complete radio silence. Atkins wanted absolutely nothing to do with her anymore. When someone who was your biggest supporter completely turns their back on you, that tells you everything you need to know about how bad things really got.
See you.
Hi, nice to see you too.
Do you plan on returning to the Sky for year 3?
I'm under contract, so yes, I plan on returning to the Sky, continuing to talk to Tyler, and building that relationship with Jeff and Tyler.
Thanks. And then, how's your back doing? Have you made a full recovery?
Did that sound like somebody who was looking forward to going back? Man, I'm under contract, so I guess I'm gonna just she don't want to be there. I don't even think the players on the team want her there. I don't think Camila Cardoso want to deal with it. I know Courtney Vandersloot don't want to deal with it. I don't even know if Haley Van.
Despite all this chaos and burned bridges, fans started getting excited about something they saw on social media. Reese showed up at a Raptors game with her brother, who plays in their development system, and suddenly everyone lost their minds, thinking she might join the new Toronto Tempo expansion team. The Raptors even posted about it, which got people even more hyped up. Fans started creating this whole fantasy scenario where she'd get a fresh start in a new city, and everything would magically work out perfectly.
Thanks. And then, how's your back doing? Have you made a full recovery?
Did that sound like somebody who was looking forward to going back? Man, I'm under contract, so I guess I'm gonna just she don't want to be there. I don't even think the players on the team want her there. I don't think Camila Cardoso want to deal with it. I know Courtney Vandersloot don't want to deal with it. I don't even know if Haley Van Lith want to deal with it anymore. You know, like I don't know.
Yeah. I recovered at the end of the season. I was all good. So just continuing to do recovery on my whole entire body, and figuring it out going into year 3. That was my focus this offseason, just being.
The fan reaction was honestly pretty intense. Social media was flooded with people begging her to sign with Toronto. Messages like, "We need your rebounding," and "Please come to the Tempo," were everywhere. People were already imagining her as the face of the franchise before she'd even expressed any interest. This massive outpouring of support showed that despite all the controversy, she still had this incredible appeal with fans who just wanted to see her succeed somewhere new.
That Sandy Brondillo would want Angel Reese joining her team at all. To be completely honest with you, I couldn't see it at all. I don't see Sandy Brondillo doing that. I just got to be all the way real and honest with you guys. I can't see Sandy Brondillo doing that. Let's take a look at what Angel Reese had to say about her actually going back to Chicago, which she does not want to do.
See you.
Hi, nice to see you too.
Do you plan on returning to the Sky for year 3?
I'm under contract, so yes, I plan on returning to the Sky, continuing to talk to Tyler.
What made the Toronto idea even more appealing was the coach. Sandy Brondillo is a 2-time WNBA champion who's respected throughout the entire league. Fans thought that maybe under someone with that kind of credibility and leadership, Reese could finally reach her potential and leave all the drama behind. The vision of her learning from one of the best coaches in the game was compelling enough that people convinced themselves it was actually going to happen. Reality hit hard in December though. Reese finally addressed all the speculation and confirmed she'd be returning to Chicago for her 3rd season. But listen to how she said it. "I'm under contract. I guess I plan on returning to the Sky." The lack of enthusiasm was impossible to miss. This wasn't someone excited about getting back to work with her team. This was someone fulfilling an obligation because they had no other choice. When reporters asked about her injury recovery, her response was just as telling. She brushed it off, saying she was fine by the end of the season, but was still focusing on recovery. The whole interview felt like someone going through the motions of saying what they were supposed to say. There was zero genuine excitement about returning to play basketball at the highest level, which is pretty alarming for a professional athlete. The truth that fans didn't want to accept is that her teammates were probably just as unenthusiastic about her return. Players like Vandersloot and others had dealt with months of unnecessary drama and public embarrassment. The constant conflicts and media circus had worn everyone down to the point where they were likely hoping for their own fresh start away from all the chaos she brought with her. Here's the reality that those Toronto fans needed to understand. Sandy Brondello, with her championship pedigree and reputation for building strong team cultures, would never in a million years consider bringing someone like Reese onto her new team. Brondello values discipline, accountability, and players who put the team first. Everything about Reese's recent history goes against those principles. No coach of that caliber is going to risk destroying team chemistry before the season even starts. Brondello has spent years building her reputation on creating winning environments where players are held to the highest standards. The idea that she'd take a chance on someone who publicly quit on their previous team and created locker room drama is frankly ridiculous. Informed people around the league knew from the beginning that Toronto was never a realistic option, even if fans wanted to believe otherwise. Reese often talks about keeping basketball as her main priority, saying it's what got her where she is and will always be her passion. She insists she'll never forget that basketball is what she loves most, but her actions tell a completely different story than her words. When you look at how she handled the Chicago situation and listen to how reluctantly she talks about returning, it's hard to believe basketball is really her top priority anymore. She's also very open about wanting to give 100% to everything else she's doing. Modeling, business ventures, her podcast, and other opportunities. While there's nothing wrong with having multiple interests, it raises questions about whether she can maintain the laser focus that elite basketball demands. Critics point out that this divided attention could hurt her chances at the highest levels of the sport. One thing she's made absolutely clear is her desire to play for Team USA. She stated that representing her country is something she would never pass up on. That opportunity represents the pinnacle of basketball achievement and something every player dreams about. But getting there requires more than just talent. It demands an impeccable reputation and proven commitment to team success. The problem is that everything that happened in Chicago creates exactly the opposite narrative. The suspension, the dramatic exit, the public conflicts with teammates, all of that becomes part of her permanent record. When USA Basketball is making selections, they're not just looking at highlights and statistics. They're evaluating character, leadership, and whether someone can be trusted in high-pressure situations. The disconnect between her stated goals and her recent actions creates a serious problem. Elite basketball organizations remember everything, especially the negative stuff. The drama she created doesn't just disappear because time passes. It becomes part of how coaches and executives evaluate her as a potential addition to their programs. Team USA selections require players who can put individual egos aside completely for the good of the team. The way she handled adversity in Chicago raises legitimate questions about whether she possesses that quality. Selection committees are going to scrutinize every aspect of her character and professionalism, not just her ability to rebound and score. So while Reese might genuinely want to represent her country at the Olympics, the path she's carved through her recent decisions might have already closed that door. The question isn't about her talent level. Everyone knows she can play. The question is whether organizations trust her to handle the responsibility that comes with elite opportunities without creating unnecessary drama and distractions. Moving forward, the pressure on her next moves couldn't be higher. Every decision she makes and every public statement will be analyzed through the lens of what happened in Chicago. If she wants to achieve her biggest goals in basketball, she's gonna have to prove that the person who walked out on the sky isn't who she really is. Otherwise, those elite opportunities might remain permanently out of reach.